I remember a funny story that I read long time ago in November 2002, that is about 18 years ago, in the Philippine Daily Inquirer. The story is about two young medical students walking down the road one day when they saw a man walking down the same road but walking in a rather strange manner. One of the two medical students said, "Probably the man has some problem with his bones," while the other medical student said, "It's probably because the man has problems with his leg muscles." Because the two medical students wanted to satisfy their curiosity, they approached the man and told him their medical opinion as to why he was walking in a strange way. But the man said, "Sorry, sirs, both of you are wrong. I was also mistaken. I thought," the man said, "I thought I could still make it to the nearest toilet." My dear brothers and sisters, at one time or another, you and I must have also experienced the unexpected. We must have also experienced the urgent, the final, and the definitive. And when instances like these happen, nothing could be done in such a situation. The gospel reading is known as the parable of the 10 virgins. Among other things, the parable today invites us to contemplate, to meditate on the end of the world and the end of our lives. The parable wants us to remember that death itself could come at a time that we least expect. Death may come like a thief in the night, and in death there is an element of surprise. That is why we are urged to pray and to be prepared, because we neither know the day nor the hour. There is no way for anybody among us to know how we will die, when we will die, where we will die. We do not know where death will come to pick us up. That is why we must be prepared anytime, all the time. These past days, November 1st, All Saints' Day, November 2nd, All Souls' Day, and even during the whole month of November, we are given plenty of time to reflect about the meaning and mystery of life and about the meaning and mystery of death. The parable today, though an end-time prophecy, has a simple but significant lesson. The lesson is, be prepared at all times, be watchful, be vigilant, stay awake. As the Boy Scouts say, laging handa. My dear brothers and sisters, why is our gospel reading a little scary? It sounds frightening because we are approaching the end of another liturgical season. Next week is the 33rd Sunday in Ordinary Time. That is the end of the liturgical season. And then we will celebrate the solemnity of Christ the King of the universe. And then we will begin a new liturgical season with the Advent celebration, the 4 Sundays, the 4 weeks of Advent. And as we approach the end of another liturgical season, the readings bring our attention to thoughts and feelings about the end time. My dear friends, everything is finite. God alone is immortal. The truth is we face death every day while we are awake and even when we sleep. And the best preparation for a happy, a holy, a peaceful death is not only to pray for it, but to have a life that is well lived. I remember Saint Benedict in his rule for monks who wanted his monks to think of death every day. He said, keep death daily before your eyes because death could come anytime. My dear brothers and sisters, the old must die. The young may die. And death is a very personal experience. What do I mean when I say that death is a very personal experience? It means that you will die your own death. I will die my own death. Your death is always yours. My death is always mine. We cannot ask anybody to be our proxy when it comes to death, because in death there is no such thing as looking for somebody to be your proxy. May I add a few other lessons about the parable of the 10 virgins. Number 1, the parable of the 10 virgins reminds us about certain things in life, about certain things in our life that we cannot obtain at the last minute. That is why it is not good to always follow the Filipino tradition of mañana habit, when we love to procrastinate, when we love to postpone. To be tardy is always a tragedy. For example, it will be too late for a student to cram for a major exam that he is scheduled to take the following morning and expect to get high scores until or unless he is a genius. It is a warning that there are certain things in life that we cannot obtain at the last minute. Number 2, the parable is warning us that there are certain things in life that we cannot borrow from other people. Like, we cannot borrow character, we cannot borrow spirituality, we cannot borrow education, we cannot borrow talent, we cannot borrow good manners and right conduct. We either have it or we do not have it. There are things in life that we cannot borrow from others. And finally, the parable today warns us to constantly evaluate how well we use our time, because time wasted is simply existence, but time used well means life. Remember too that time has no resurrection. My dear brothers and sisters, the wise and the foolish virgins are symbols of the way we should live. We should be like the wise virgins whose lamps are kept burning, ready at all times. Life is a gift from God. Our life is borrowed from God. As we sing in Filipino, hiram sa Diyos ang aking buhay. And as we also sing another song, minsan lamang ako daraan sa daigdig na ito. The day which some of us fear as our last is but the birthday of eternity. Death is an immense curiosity. Death may even be the loveliest adventure in life. I'd like to believe that God created death so that you and I will know when to stop. Some of us do not know when to stop. Even the homily, I will in a little while stop. We should know when to stop. You may be a king, you may be a queen, you may be a pauper, you may be a street sweeper. But sometime later on, everybody has to stop. Everybody dances with the Grim Reaper. That is why the parable is telling us, keep your eyes open. Be alert at all times. You do not know the day and the hour.